Call to order the regular. See, we're a good team.
That's twice, Marty.
Well, no, I wasn't supposed to start until Ty reminded me to. Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting for Lafayette Township Board of Trustees and Fire District of October 17th, 7 p.m. All rise for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And roll call.
O'Neill here.
Fullerton here. Marcola here. We also have our fiscal officer and our legal counsel. Okay, we have no meeting minutes pending for approval. We had a little snafu getting them typed up, so they will be ready for our next meeting. We do have on our consent agenda the fiscal report, fire district report, service department report, zoning report, and police report. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion needed? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, fiscal officer, anything extra to add in?
Yes, sir. So you were all emailed a copy of the Otarma insurance renewal. The current amount is $54,458. That might go down a bit because Jerry turned in an inventory report and there were a couple things not on there anymore. Did you say Rick still
Yeah,
was
Rick
outstanding?
needs to get his, there he is. Rick still needs to get his copy. We talked about the inventory report that you need to get to go through
Okay.
yet, just to confirm it. I think most of it's probably right, but I know we don't have that many snow plows out there anymore. I don't have that many Meyer plows out there, so we're just to kind of give it a quick go through, make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so, you wanna make a motion for the 54,000?
Well, do we want to talk about the other one first? And do any additions?
It's up to you.
Okay. As part of the package, there was an option to increase liability limits. Right now, we're at $10 million. You can go to $11 million for $745 more, $12 million for $1491, or $13 million for $2236. Any thoughts or comments? Do we want to keep what we have at 10 or pay extra to go up a little bit?
I personally would just leave it the same.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Take a vote.
I'll motion to keep it the same.
A second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign? Okay, so we won't do the increase, so then that would leave us with a not to exceed of $54,458. Again, that's probably gonna come down a little bit when we pull some of the stuff off of inventory. Do we have a motion to approve? No, we did, that was for the increase.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to
Okay.
approve.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same sign? Okay, motion carries. We will approve and continue on. Thank you, Mark.
Also, I passed out record retention proposed changes. Do you want me to run through each one? All right. First one, FOA 12. Currently, it states incorporate into official minutes and then retain for 1 year, and that is pertaining to recording the meetings. The proposed change is that once the minutes are approved, to dispose of the recording. Second change is to add video, and we're proposing once the current meeting is uploaded, delete the previous video. Under FOC 11, currently it states correspondence, add to include memos and messages that do not document the public business, keep for 2 fiscal years, then destroy when no longer of any administrative value. And the proposed change is to keep for 1 year, then destroy when no longer of administrative value. For junk mail, we recommend 2 weeks until it's reviewed at a trustee meeting, then dispose unless requested to keep longer. The addition of text messages, Add under correspondence and retain for 30 days. With regard to surveillance video, recommend 30 days of keeping them and then reuse and automatic rewrite provided no action is pending. And the last one is add meeting minutes housed on the website, and the recommendation is to keep them published until replaced by the next approved meeting minutes at a minimum of 2 weeks. So I'm asking you guys to just think about that and then vote on it at the next meeting.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
No, thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Good.
And that's all I had.
Okay. Service, anything above the consent? Okay. Fire?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. There's one thing, most paving repaired the damaged areas out there on Kirsten Road that where the bulldozer tore up the road. And they did 3 crossovers and leveled the spot right up there in the curve there by where it was damaged. The main drive, it has been motor paved and chip sealed, and they did the berming today. We poured the concrete pad and installed the kiosk mailboxes and handed all the keys over to the postmaster. So he's gonna be doing all the issuing of the mailboxes. The Euclid Bridge is finally, it's done, it's open, everything's completed back there. We installed signs around, there on Main Drive, we'll put it around the roundabout to direct traffic one way around the roundabout. We installed drainage tile down at the corner of Ryan and 162. Because that one's, it's always been a problem there for water seeping up out of the road in the wintertime and causing it to be icy right there at the intersection. Did you guys want to continue with the rollover on zero turns, the John Deere zero turns, turning them in the spring and getting new ones? It cost us $1,500 per mower to stay in a new mower
For 3 mowers.
for 3 mowers.
1,500 each.
Yeah,
Correct.
$1,500 each. That'd be $4,500. We've done it in the past. It's always seemed to work for us. I guess you'd never have to worry about a warranty issue. So,
These are always brand new
yes.
every year.
And Rick, that's 2 for township and 1 for fire, right?
No, all 3, no, that's all 3. The fire, that one we're gonna keep.
Okay.
We're not gonna roll that one over.
Ty, what do you think?
Yeah, I would continue. That's a good deal for us.
Okay, we have a motion to continue the,
I would make the motion to continue with the program at $1,500 per mower, for a total of $4,500 for the coming season.
we have a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same sign? Okay. motion
One more
carried.
thing. Down there on Main Drive, it's dark down. There's no secure, well, there's no street lights or anything. We put them new mailboxes up. What do you guys think about having a street light put up to where, I don't know, try to help protect them mailboxes, or, and it gets dark early, so the residents, if they're up there, they can get their mail out of their mailbox, and I don't know, what do you guys think? I had one resident ask about it, and I just,
Bill, is that something that legally we're allowed to do?
You could put up streetlights, but you'd have to pay them under that scenario. If you petition them and they're willing to pay the cost, then you can set it up like you do other streetlights for other residents at intersections and so forth.
How would that cost get split up amongst? That'd be interesting, to try to, because it's not an HOA down there, it's just those homes.
Do you know the current mailboxes on Lake, are they lit?
no,
They're not?
no. Well,
I mean, if it's on the park property, the park could pay to put it up.
They own it, sure.
I don't know if they own it or not, but I thought
Yeah.
they bought the land from Brock. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the road will be
But
ours
the
once
road's-
it's done.
So it'd be kind of a
Okay.
touchy area. Let's give that some thought,
okay, sure.
okay? All right.
Yeah, that's about all I have, unless you got something, Ty.
No, that's it, thanks, Rick.
Okay, zoning, anything above what's on the consent agenda or consent report?
No, I just want to let the residents know that we are gaining value. For the first 9 months of the year, the fees collected are $52,674.37 versus $21,036 for all of last year. And so far, the estimated value through the end of September is $23,025,583 versus $11,989,54 for all of '21. So we're way ahead of, on both sides.
Okay, thank you. Police report.
We had 350 total incidents last month. We did attend the fire department open house as a community event. That was nice exposure. It is very dark. So, whoever, if they could come up, or if you could come up with some way to have some type of lighting, I don't know if that would be your responsibility.
We can talk to Nate and see what they can, maybe do something as a joint effort. I don't know if there's anything they have available as well. They've got extra money also, but let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I could reach
Can you
out to
check
him.
It's gonna have to be a general benefit for the lighting, for the, general benefit in order to justify paying for it directly from the township funds.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. Correspondence. Any correspondence?
Oh, I do have one. Resident reached out to me last week, Friendsville and Chippewa, asking about a camera that was being installed up there. So I reached out to the county, went down and talked to Chris at the county, and the county highway engineers actually deployed 8 cameras around the county. They're all live feed cameras, and basically they're just to keep track of the condition of the roads for like snow plowing and stuff, so it's just for the engineer's office only, live feed only. And there's only one in Lafayette, which is that one there that we know of now.
Okay, anything
That's the only
else?
one we have.
I have
I don't
one.
have jumped fire.
So I got a letter from Feeding Medina County, and they want to know if you are interested.
Do you know what we've sponsored this in the past for, or if we have?
We have
in the
not.
vault? Okay. All right, you take some time to review it? Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Sir?
Chris, anything from you?
No.
Okay. Old business.
You do fire?
Yeah, we,
Oh, I'm sorry, we did best fire. Chief, I keep blowing past you every time, I'm sorry. You just blend into the wall over there.
Yes. Just a couple quick things, just wanted to highlight the, thanks to everyone who came out and supported Night at the Races on September 24th, and thanks to everybody who came out for our open house. Both nice events, and glad to see the turnout. Also, looking for approval to hire Alex Thomas, a firefighter EMT. He was on the department previously, wants to return. He lives just within the city limits, close enough to respond to all calls, as well as a firefighter 2 paramedic, Nick Dangle, who lives here. He's a lieutenant with Westlake Fire. Also, he'd like to fill extra shifts or come in from home or whatever we have. As I look at the roster and more people live outside the area, it's nice to have the people who are close enough to respond to all calls. So request that you would approve hiring them as probationary members of the fire department.
I'd move that we accept those two as probationary hires. We have a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay. Good job, chief. Sorry for skipping you.
I'm used to it.
All right. Now, old business.
Well, Rick did all my old business.
Oh, there is a nice video, by the way, on the fire department's website of the ambulance going across the Euclid Street Bridge, and it doesn't even fall in the water, so it looks pretty good. All right, new business. We got a request, came in, and this one it's interesting. There's a church group, they're a nonprofit, a registered nonprofit, that wants to use the town hall every Sunday for probably 2 to 3 hours for their services. I talked to the woman about it a little bit, and I said, well, for how long? It's just like over the winter or something. She goes, no, we'd like to do this, if it works out, we'd just like to use it kind of forever. I talked to Bill. There's nothing legal that says we are not allowed to allow a church to use it from that standpoint. My only concern is if we lock it up with one single group for every Sunday from now on, I'm not real comfortable having a second group come in later in the day on a Sunday, because you don't know the condition it's gonna be when they leave, if there's an issue, and taking care of it. So I guess I just kind of wanted to throw this out here for you guys to think about. I've got her contact information if you guys want to call her and chat with her and kind of get a feel for it and see what you think, if we want to do that or not.
Yeah, I'd rather table it and then reach out to her.
Okay. All right, I got the information. I'll forward that to both of you so you can kind of call and chat.
Are they want to hold services here? Is that her intent?
Yeah. I guess they used to be up at, I think she said the Brunswick Rec Center, and that was okay, but then the services would get into the times when they were using the pool in the area, and it got really loud, and they had a hard time having a service in that kind of environment. Okay. Any other new business? Okay. Public participation. What do we got?
Justin Broley, 5637 Birchwood. My question is for Trustee O'Neill. As you're aware, previously I wrote 2 different letters back in June and July about the reciprocity agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Both times you stated on the record that you didn't believe that the documents that I provided showed what I claimed that they showed. The auditor has finished their investigation, and in their summary they wrote, based on the timesheets, Lafayette Township provided at least 145.5 additional hours of assistance, possibly up to 241.5 additional hours, which would be contingent upon further review, which were not reflected in the documents of the 2 respective supervisors. Do you have any comment?
I haven't read that statement or that document that you just referred to.
The report from the auditor dated July 22nd. You haven't read it yet.
I don't know if I read that one through all the way.
Okay.
You realize that wasn't sent to us? That was not submitted to the township?
I don't know who it was submitted to, but I know that we talked about it numerous times.
Right.
You guys were appalled that I had information from the auditor before you guys did. You
The-
know it's out there and it's
The
3 months old
first,
now.
the first letter that you submitted to us, you had attachments in there,
Right.
okay? And what you provided in that letter did not show that there was a discrepancy.
No, I referenced the attachments that I
So
provided
that,
the
I want to
second
just
time.
clarify, that was what I was talking about the very first time.
Well, you again said that the letter on the 18th, which had all the timesheets, didn't match. And now we have, so I guess what I'm saying is, since it's 3 months old, you guys had done absolutely nothing to follow up on the reciprocity agreement.
I also believe that there's still an investigation going on by the auditor.
I believe you would be incorrect. It even states on here, the second page, sorry, let me do this here for you so I get it right. We recommend closing this preliminary audit and investigation based on the lack of evidence to support theft of time and the absence of a policy that defines the payment of CDL fees. In addition, we recommend referring the following issues to the region to address in the fiscal year 2021 financial audit. They list several items on there.
I
including
think
the
that's
agreement-
what's going on.
The region is the auditor's region.
That's
They're
the
gonna have, they're still
regular-
gonna continue.
That's the
it.
regular audit, I guess is what I'm saying. The Westfield trustees were kind enough to reference the agreement in their August 1st meeting based on the same documentation that I sent to you, that I sent to them. They decided, as would make sense, to table it until they hear from you guys because clearly they owe us a significant amount of hours. So I guess my question is, again, we're now 3 months removed from that report, that whether you saw it or not, I would think, as many times as I brought it up, I mean, Mr. Fullerton was held down on contacting the auditor's office 2 days after I mentioned contacting him. I would think that you would follow up and find out what was going on.
I'd prefer to wait till we hear the final findings from
Of the annual audit,
the regional, what they're referring to in that.
They're
the
still,
regular audits that they do on a regular basis.
That's
It'll
on,
be
that's
several years
ongoing.
before it's done.
That's ongoing as well.
Okay.
and if it helps you, I did talk with Mike Schmidt. He reached out to me last week and conflict of schedules, but we're gonna probably meet the first week of November and try to share some ideas and see if there's something.
Okay, well, and then that kind of goes into my second. You, Mr. Fullerton, you had mentioned, I think it was the second meeting in January, imposing time clock, punch cards to prevent any discrepancies in payment to employees for hours that weren't worked. Based on the preliminary investigation and the documents that I provided, what steps have been taken by the service department to make sure that the logs created by the supervisors are actually accurate and reflect what's truly being done?
The law, you mean the reciprocal log is
Yeah.
matched with the timesheets.
But
Yeah,
they
and-
didn't match in 21, and now we're just using a punch card? Do they log
Time
exactly
clock.
where
Oh,
they?
yeah, they log what they do that day, yeah.
And then,
And it matches.
but it didn't in 21?
Apparently not. I wasn't here in 21.
Well, I understand all that.
Alls I
guess
know
what I'm
is
saying
under my clock.
As
Yep.
it stands right now, Lafayette taxpayers have spent a significant amount of money fixing roads and property in Westfield, and it doesn't seem that you guys are doing anything to rectify that or to make sure that that doesn't happen any further.
We're keeping good records, and they probably owe us 20-some hours right now, 24, I think.
Well, in addition
No,
to
no,
the-
we owe them, I'm sorry, we owe them like 24 and a half hours to date.
I guess I will never understand how Lafayette Service Department, we have what now, 3 full-time, 2 part-time?
They hire everything out. They hire their grave digging, they hire their ditching, they hire their mowing. They don't even mow their own admin.
Right,
bill.
they're getting us to do it on our dime.
No. No. When they need us, we swap out hours for hours. We bill them hours. If they come and help us, they bill us hours. We keep track of those hours. Has nothing to do with 5 employees to 1
I
employee.
understand how it works, but you understand where I'm coming from in that the timesheets last year, we had summaries.
I can't answer the timesheets of last year, Justin. I told you that 3 times. I can only answer the timesheets this year, and they're accurate.
So anything that happened prior to you guys taking office? You're not
Mike
gonna
and
do
I
anything
will be
about it?
discussing that the first week of November.
Okay.
Yep.
So we should be able to come back with something at a
I
month
hope-
month
I
meeting
hope-
from
I
now.
hope
Yeah.
so.
So not the first meeting of November, but by the second meeting of November, we should have some kind of response.
As long
Hopefully.
as something's being done.
It kind of runs in the back of my head too. This was for 2021 you had checked, correct?
Correct.
I've talked to other trustees that they don't do log books and records, but they do reciprocating work. And some years it's heavy one way, some years it's heavy another. I gotta wonder if we go back enough years, does it eventually balance out? Maybe it gets even worse, I don't know. But it'd be something worth thinking about. Okay, thank you. Anything else?
But did anybody else want to go? Because if not, I do have one more thing.
Anybody else have anything? Yes.
Lee Lipka, 6570 Falker. Still have questions about my neighbor. He's still.
Okay. Refer that to trustee O'Neill.
I don't know, there's, it's the same situation as it's
Yeah,
been.
same situation. Nothing's been done yet.
Alice has visited there, I don't know.
I haven't seen anybody next door.
What do you mean by anybody?
Anybody. My cameras pick up everything that stops at the door, and nobody's been over there.
So
Well, no,
is the guy
Except
still
for
there?
him.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go up on his property, no.
No, nobody's been over. on his
Legal
property.
counsel gets emotional when we go on property without somebody being there. Drove by, place looks like nobody's there, but then according to your cameras, he comes late at night and leaves early in the morning. So I'm not sure how you expect me to catch him in the middle of the night, because quite frankly, I don't do night calls.
He's there during the day too.
Well,
Do you have any suggestion, like what would you like to see?
I'd like to see him evicted. Right now, I see a fire hazard sitting next to my house. Right on my property line, actually. I mean, up until 2 weeks ago, I was told she could never get a hold of him, and you guys have known about it since August 4th.
I finally found a phone number, as I told you last time, and he did answer. Talked, and I told him he needed to stop living in the trailer, and he said he hasn't been able to find an apartment, so I told him to keep looking seriously and quickly, and I don't know what else I can do.
2 weeks ago, I heard it was going to the prosecutor's office.
No, I never said that. I
No,
think,
it was brought up at this meeting.
maybe so, but I did not say that. I think legal counsel said something about the prosecutor's office, not me.
And I think it's a fire hazard to go to the fire department. I think it says he didn't go to prosecution, it might end up at the prosecutor's office. But I don't think we said
I
anything.
said give him a reasonable amount of time to
Yeah.
evacuate and take it to the prosecutor's office if he doesn't.
That's as soon as she can prove he's living there. She's gonna have, like I said, we've got to prove the case. It's a burden that's beyond the township to prove it. So,
He's been there since August 4th. You want proof? I've got security cameras that show him going in late at night, leaving early in the morning. That's
you
proof.
make copies of those for the zoning inspector? She
I've
can.
already given her the
Those
pictures.
are the ones that I think you've seen
How much
those,
more
haven't
do you
you?
need?
No.
I know Chris has seen them.
I've seen the pictures, I haven't seen video, but.
I mean, I'll give you the videos.
You
I'll
did-
give you the hard drive.
If he is living there, you need to cite,
form.
Pardon me?
if you do determine he's living there, you need to formally cite them. And for the zoning violation, he has reasonable time to get out. If he doesn't, then he's in violation, and you proceed.
He said he had to leave,
He's been living here since he's bought the property. He's been living around the corner.
around the corner, but not there.
I mean, literally around the corner over on Egypt.
Again, not on your property next door.
Exactly.
but he's no longer living there, and he hasn't been able to find an apartment, so.
It still doesn't justify living there if he is in fact
No,
living there
and I
illegally.
told him that, and I told him he had to find a place to move, and he said he was working very hard on it, so.
How long ago was that?
2 weeks ago.
Is working
If he's
very
still there,
hard.
I'd give him a formal letter, I would give him a formal letter with
Okay.
the time to be out.
Let's jump in a little bit. Bill, what would you consider reasonable with the
Yeah,
letter
it's
that
true.
Well,
Allison's
he's
gonna
already
send
had almost
out?
a month, another 30 days, which should be plenty to get a place.
And then if he doesn't have within 30 days, then we could take it to the
proceed.
prosecutor, start
Yeah.
proceeding.
Has he covered up the
No,
trailer?
he's still living there.
And he told me he was gonna cover it up and not live in there anymore, so I don't know.
No, he hasn't.
Well,
Okay, can you put the
send him
letter
a
together?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, keep after it.
Thank you.
Hey, anything else? Yes, sir.
Real quick, I wanted to get a little clarification. Obviously, we discussed at length at the last meeting with police levy,
Mhm.
and it's been on there for a while. And I know you guys aren't real big on social media and following that, but a lot of our residents, do follow that, look for information. And normally I wouldn't ask for you guys to comment on what other people have said, but recently I put up a post in support of the levy, but also, pointing out that I didn't feel that the increase was necessary and why, but still, again, recommending or encouraging our residents to vote for it. And a resident who holds himself out as having been very close to campaigning for Mr. Fullerton and Mr. O'Neill, trying, in my belief, to try to gain some credibility in the things that he says. His name's Scott Mary, has posted that both Mr. Fullerton and Mr. O'Neill were coerced into supporting a levy increase and a renewal, and voted for the city police department against their wishes. Now, normally I wouldn't, yeah, well, and that's why
I'm sorry,
if you wouldn't mind, I mean, is it a situation where, he's just talking out of his ass
Yes.
from time to time, or is
That
there any
would-
truth to that?
Yeah, I
No
would
truth
just
to that.
say,
He does.
Was this the one where he said that I was able to influence him?
Yeah, he
'Cause I had
said
you
that,
both under my power.
that Marty forced them to, it wasn't their choice. Which again, I mean, I think most people would do the math to one majority vote and figure that piece out. But, like I said, and it doesn't matter whether he did or didn't campaign for you guys, that's neither here nor there, but I think, like I said, he might influence the wrong people that's where you were. So I thank you for clarifying
hopefully
that
you
tonight.
set them straight.
Well, I did the best I could, but
Thank you. Yes,
That gentleman has put,
I'm sorry, you have to state your name.
Diane Wenslow, that gentleman, I shouldn't call him gentleman, but has posted many, many times derogatory remarks continually about our township plus our trustees, so I take nothing he says seriously.
I was impressed that he thought I had that much mind control power, actually. I was pretty impressed with that. Okay. All right, anything else?
Chase Burmeister, 6310 Lafayette Road. I just want to clarify just one question I guess I just had for tonight's meeting. I was unable to attend a zoning meeting last week, but my wife did attend. We live at 6310. There was a property that recently sold, 6280 Lafayette Road. 3 or 4 weeks ago, the zoning inspector let me know that she had plans on her desk for what was potentially going to go back there. I don't know, Alice, if you remember telling me that. So then we heard, my wife heard something completely different at the zoning meeting. I just was curious where that property lied with the township, whether or not there's been any preliminary plans submitted for that property to the township.
Chris, are you would
I have not seen any.
Well, Ally did ask at that meeting, and I told her at that meeting, I did not have any copies of any site plans. Now, she insisted that she saw them on my desk. I've never seen them.
No, you told me you had them on your desk.
You told us both that.
I've never had any.
Oh, okay.
And when there was a question about the proposed storage unit, and their architect called, and I brought Bill Thorne, our legal counsel, onto the call so that there was a third party listening to the conversation. And we just talked about general things, and I finally said to him, I said, do you have a site plan ready to submit for application? He says, no. I says, there is none. He goes, no. He says, all I had is a couple sketches that the woman that's actually trying to buy this sent him to look at. But there's been no formal site plan, there's been no submission. So I don't know where you think I said that, but I couldn't have said that because I never had it.
Okay, yeah, you said the woman that was trying to buy the property?
There is a woman trying to buy the property, correct?
Right now, so 6280.
Well, she's trying to buy the property in back of Dollar General.
That's
Now,
6280.
okay,
Dollar General 6300,
I know that, but the
Oh.
6280 is a whole bunch of acreage.
26 acres.
She only wants, they haven't even decided how much acreage they want, so there can't be.
Well, that's
a
weird. Well,
site
2
plan.
Fridays ago, the property closed, all 26 acres sold, so I'm.
Well,
Jason Stevenson, I thought he was a man, but he bought it.
okay, again, I asked that question with Mr. Thorne on the phone. I asked if that property had been sold, and he said he didn't think it was. And
Who were you talking about?
the architect that is working with the lady to design the storage units, okay? Now, even if it was bought, until there is a lot split, it's not bought.
Well, there was already a lot split, as a matter of fact.
No, there's not a lot
Well, sure there
split
was. It was 6280, it was split to,
to Dollar General.
correct. So now
There
there's
has not
26 acres
been-
that sold.
Pardon me?
So then the other 26 acres sold, so it doesn't, you don't need a lot split to sell 26 acres. You just sell the 26 acres.
That's true, but this
Okay.
party does not want 26 acres.
Correct. And that's why there's several acres for sale right now.
And when they are for sale and they're subdivided off,
They're
then...
for sale right now.
Well,
They're for
fine.
sale.
Property can be for
20
sale,
acres,
but
right,
that
but
doesn't mean it's
I don't think.
sold.
All
we're
right,
on the same
Terry,
page.
what is, I'm kind of missing the point where
Well,
you're
no,
trying to
she
get to.
answered, Marty. My question was,
Okay.
is there any preliminary plans?
Okay,
No.
and there aren't.
Okay, so
Okay.
then, okay, so with that being said, so if there's no preliminary plans for 6280, let's see how. I am not 100% sure, but this, yeah, I'll hear it in front of me now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so, would,
I don't know anything about it.
well, I understand that. You were part of the initial split though, is that correct, under your administration? And I'm not asking to single you out, I'm just curious,
No.
more so if you.
No,
have-
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was,
The split for Dollar General was done, earlier this year, I would wanna, I'm guessing around maybe May or June. And the Mylar was submitted, trustees signed off on it, and it was transferred into the name of the Dollar General purchasing agency.
BTS really, yeah.
And that's the only movement of any sale of property on there that I'm aware of. A normal sale, if somebody buys the whole remainder, we don't get involved. If somebody wants to subdivide off 5, 6, 7 acres, whatever the amount is, that has to come in on a Mylar for a lot split and be signed off by the township. That has not happened. Many people buy with the condition of zoning approval. That could very well have taken place. As a matter of fact, I asked the architect if that was the case, and he said he wasn't aware. So as far as I'm concerned, until a document shows up with a subdividing a lot off for a business, or a full site plan comes in with all the documents that needed, there's no sale as far as the township is concerned.
That,
Interesting, okay, no, that's fine.
okay.
So, Alice, you were part of that lot split then, and
Which one? For Dollar General?
for Dollar General?
Yes.
Okay. So, right now, when we made that lot split, we created a 2+ acre lot for Dollar General and left a remaining 26 acre lot for sale at the time. It was just
Approximately, yes.
owned by Skidmore Estates. Both considered local commercial property, is that correct?
Yes, it's local commercial to a point, yes.
Could you elaborate that? I'm just not educated.
Well, if you look on a map, the, it's defined there as to how far different properties in that corridor are local commercial.
Sure, so the 7 acres of commercial, the remaining on the 26 acres, the 7.2, those are commercial, local commercial acres that can be used for local commercial in Lafayette Township.
Approximately that amount, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Approximately.
Roughly 7 or maybe 8, okay.
Okay, if there's nothing else? Anything else? Any other participation?
So my question, I guess, would be, when we subdivided the parcels and created shared access easement, in my definition, in my research, we've created a phased development. Are you familiar with that, Ms. Ellis?
I'm not familiar with the phrase development. I am familiar with the single lot cutoff for Dollar General, and I am familiar with the possibility of another single lot being subdivided off that property for a potential another business.
Mr. O'Neill's zoning liaison, are you familiar with
No.
the shared access easement over there at all? And how that ties in with this whole
You're talking
Development.
about the driveway?
shared access easement?
If that's the driveway, the shared access to come in as far
You
as...
created it, you tell me.
I did not create that.
Oh, okay.
I created the sublot, and when ODOT,
Who approved the shared access easement?
not me, it was the engineering department at ODOT. ODOT
So
would
the
not
township-
allow them to go into...
Yeah, we've heard that before. We
Well,
understand
then why are you asking if you...
All right, let's kind of wrap this around. This is kind of going in big circles. I want to give you your full time to talk, but
that. Sure. Mr. Marty, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, and I've yet to get a straight answer out of anybody really when it comes to this. I mean,
What is your
everybody kinda just
question?
passes the buck.
what is your question? I mean, I've been trying to understand what your question is, and
Well,
every time I think I do, it goes a different
The last
direction.
question before she cut me off, and then now you cut me off. I'm just trying to educate myself from the most educated people in the township that we have on how this procedure is working, because so far, well, let me just give you a quick breakdown, right, so everybody's hip. So Dollar General comes in and want to build a structure. A lot of people in this township are upset that Dollar General is coming in. I'm not. Am I a little bit, discouraged that I'm gonna have a commercial building next to me? Yes, but okay. So then I'm approached by 2 of the 3 trustees, told how they side with me, and they want to do everything possible, right, to make sure this doesn't happen. And I say, look, I just wanna make sure everything's done properly. 6 weeks ago, I very clearly stated that these are not being done properly. It gets swept under the rug. I gotta file a zoning appeal to try to find out if anybody's really doing their homework, right? We have the zoning appeal. It goes through, according to what I read, I'm kind of confused why there wasn't a BZA hearing. And again, I'm not really educated in all this, and that's just why I'm asking questions. But I don't believe there was a hearing, right? You guys just...
There's no hearing?
Was a hearing not necessary?
That permit was revoked, the appeal.
So that's what makes that simple. It's just that you vote and then reissue.
Right.
Okay. All right, so, well, I guess basically, I'm really curious how the property 6280 can stay zoned local commercial.
Because it is so local commercial.
Okay.
It has been since 1965, and it's unfortunate you weren't as diligent in your digging into information that you didn't check to see what the property was zoned on and around the lot that you
Come on, that's
purchased.
beating around the bush.
No,
I'm
it's
well
not.
aware of where I live and what property I bought.
Then
Okay?
why are you surprised that it's local commercial?
It doesn't have the required minimum frontage of a local commercial property.
I'm afraid it does.
Okay, how is that?
It's excessive, it's over
Do you know what the minimum lot frontage requirement is for a local commercial property in Lafayette Township?
175 feet.
Do you know what the minimum, do you know what the overall frontage of 6280 is?
6280, the remainder, or what it was before it was subdivided? The remainder.
The parcel in which the property address is 6280 right now.
Okay, it's got an 80-foot throat that is representing the road that allows access to the back property. And that's 80 feet, and you're aware of that. There's no frontage for a road. The road is the frontage. A road has to go back into the remaining parcel of 6280.
So a shared access easement is technically a road, Bill? Is that right?
No, but if they're gonna develop off of it, it's gotta be a road.
So wouldn't that create a phased development project when you put a road in?
No,
No?
not in my opinion, because it's not the same developer. You have different people, it's not one project.
So we can, just give me one quick second here and I'll just go ahead and find it. It's very clearly stated, I thought, but again, I may be 100. Okay, so, yeah, it's, do you understand now, Marty? I'm not trying to be,
No,
you know what
I
I mean?
and
I'm
honestly,
very
Chase, I just,
confused and I'm
and
not
I,
getting any answers.
I understand that. I'm just trying to understand exactly what your questions are.
How it stays local commercial without the frontage, and now we have a shared access easement, which is now called a road. So now we actually put a road in.
It's not a road yet.
That's what our zoning inspector just said, though. I don't know who to believe, Mr. Thorne. I just, right, because it's very, things are like this around here.
It's my understanding it's not a road yet. Road has to be dedicated. and
Okay, so
accepted.
back to, it's a shared access easement, okay?
I don't know that. I have not seen
It
it.
says it on the print, and that's all, on the
I don't
side
know.
plan that the township, so, yeah, Mr. O'Neill, it's a shared access easement, is that correct?
I guess right now they would be considered that, right?
Shared with who? I mean, it goes to
6280
back.
and 6300. They're gonna share it because, see, it gets really technical, and there's a lot of information here, and every time that I've approached this board and our zoning inspector directly to try to get some information, I've just been backhanded, pushed aside, or told.
The back
a lie.
land, the land behind Dollar General to develop is gonna need a road, formally dedicated road at this time.
Which I
doesn't
kind of
happen.
understand that from your perspective, 100%, but at what point do we just allow things to happen without forethought, right? A little bit of preliminary procedural plan review. Because our comprehensive plan and our zoning code both state that once we put a shared access easement in, we create a phased development, whether one property or adjacent properties. Okay, you guys can fact check that, that's what it says. So in my mind, I go, oh, well, so this was 6 months, 9 months ago, when that shared access, was February, March? I go, well, that's kind of odd to me, so, okay, well, this is the way things are gonna go. And then things didn't go that way, they went the way Mrs. Strogan wanted them to go, right?
As far as I know, that there's people looking at it. It may stay farmland for all I know. There's a farmer looking at it, I understand as well.
Okay, the property did sell to Jason Stevenson, just last Friday it closed. so-
That I didn't know.
Yeah, okay.
But when I was talking to the architect, there were other people looking at it as well.
Yeah, they've asked Crockers to farm the remaining rural land, because when they bought it, all they wanted was the commercial property. But given the fact that it's landlocked, they're really struggling to sell that, right? It's just real simple.
It's not landlocked, that's why the access easement is there, which is also commonly called a road. There had to be left a means to get back to the backland, and that's what that access road is for. ODOT would not give
She's
Dollar
misspeaking,
General.
Bill. Come on.
Well, you just listen for a change.
You're misleading the public like
No,
normal.
I am not misleading the public, you are, because you, as you said, don't
6280
know.
sold, okay?
Well, okay, it's sold.
If they want to to sell the remaining 20 acres of rural residential land. It is landlocked. There's no way to get back there.
Okay, guys.
That's what the road
Alice,
is for.
The road
right,
stops
Chase,
at the commercial
We're
property.
I'm gonna take my position as the chair, and we're gonna cut this off now.
So where do I go to find these answers, Marty? Good luck. You don't even understand my questions yet, I don't believe. I mean, that's how far removed you guys are from where I'm at as a resident. I have tried every which way, Chris, to get your attention and explain to you that the things that are happening on the zoning end of this project are not legit. They're not legit. They're not being done correctly. You're the liaison. Everybody just assumes when Alice says something that it's correct. She's been doing this forever, let's just listen to her. Did you review the original site plan for Dollar General in full?
I looked at it. I'm not a professional, so I
Have you
can't answer
yet read our comprehensive plan?
parts of it. But I'm
Mr.
not-
Martin,
I'm not
have
a
you ever read the
professional.
comprehensive plan for Lafayette Township?
First time I read it was many years ago.
And Fullerton, have you ever read it?
Yep.
No?
What's the point? I said
Okay.
yes. What's the point?
On the comprehensive plan?
What's your point? I said yes.
Is that what it? I'm wasting everybody's time. I apologize, everybody, but it's important to me because it matters
I want you to
where
feel that you,
this community is going when I'm raising my family in this community. It really
and I
does.
want you to feel that you're getting the answers you need and the answers you want. It sounds from what you're saying that you're really not getting what you want. That's not the right way to say it. You're not getting answers to the questions you're asking. I have it deep in my heart, I don't think it's really ever gonna be what you wanna hear, because I think it's gonna continue to be a commercially developable piece of property, but you
Even though it
have,
doesn't-
but you
okay,
have,
so
but you have
Bill-
questions, but you have questions. I think what we'll do, we're gonna table this at this point. We'll table this at this point. I will sit with trustee O'Neill and our zoning inspector and Bill and see if we can't come up with a way to sit down with you guys in an offline and discuss it in a civil fashion. Would that be acceptable?
Absolutely, as long as
Okay.
we are,
Two trustees are there.
Right, in that
Can't do both.
We can, no, we can only have one, well, we can only have one trustee there, otherwise it's a
right, that's actually
it's a
why
special
I was
meeting
trying
and
to
all
have
the
the
things.
conversation right now.
Okay.
but-
All right, I will discuss that and we'll see if we can't get something set up to kind of try to address that for you. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah, one last thing, preliminary plan requirements for the Dollar General. Do you have any of the preliminary plans, Alice, for that project?
I'm not sure what you call preliminary plans. There were numerous discussions and then a final submission that encompassed what was necessary was submitted.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna cut that at this point. All right, any other? Okay, at this point, we would like to move into executive session pursuant to RC 121.22G1, discussing employee issues, compensation, et cetera. Roll call vote.
O'Neill?
Fullerton.
Roll call, all yes. Also invited in the meeting would be Law Director Bill Thorne and Fiscal Officer. It is 7:53. We are adjourned at this point. We are going in executive session at this point. I forgot to pause this. Okay.
That's what you are, and I just wait the next time I see again.
Okay.
Until somebody tells me that.
I don't know, I hope not.
Car or something, you got.
Okay, it is,
Too late.
it is 9:55. Okay, we are back from executive session. No decisions were made. Bill, did we vote to come back in from executive session? I don't remember. Okay, we are back in from executive session. I would move that we pay the warrants of the township and adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.
They moved the game to tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so we didn't miss the 15th, or the attorney.
Oh, they moved it?
They moved it, it was delayed forever, they